Hey guys, welcome back. BDC Gary here, and we're back with our second video in showcasing Flashpoint Batman and filling any team roles.
And fourth, I guess, in our how to build an MP online team.
Yeah, so as you could tell from the thumbnail, today we're going to be showing off Flashpoint Batman as a tank.
So that was one of the principles originally when we first did our series, that you need to have a basic damage dealer, you need to have a tank, and then we got derailed by lack of views and lack of motivation to finish, and now we're coming back to this whole idea of how we set up our teams.
Yeah.
All right, so Flashpoint Batman is interesting because he's just so good, and we always get the question of, well, how do you gear this guy? How do you build a team? And we're going to show you exactly what we do. So last time we geared him as a basic damage dealer, and now we're gearing him as our tank. And Fourth World gear set actually is probably the easiest way to set yourself guy up as a tank, because he's got a resurrect and he's got heal on special 1.
Yeah.
And what makes Flashpoint Batman even better as a tank is that he's got inherently high damage. So even as a tank, even as a staller, if you get stuck in a Fourth World gear set showdown where you got one guy with Fourth World gear set against another guy with Fourth World gear set, you actually have a really good chance of winning, because despite the lack of much in the way of offensive gears, you're doing a crap ton of damage.
Yeah.
With your destructive blows. And I don't know what else to say about this, except, yeah, sometimes you can sneak in a hit before he gets a special off. So, we should mention too, all right, so we've got our tank, and we're using the same team that we did for basic damage. Basic damage dealer now, the primary basic damage dealer now is Red Sun Superman.
Yeah.
And our special specialist is Wonder Woman. And, ooh. Well, she's the only one left. Because you can chain her special 1 to her swipe attack. It makes it easier to get some unblocked special 1s.
There we go.
Ooh, that was right in the crotch. 111,000. Her DPS, or damage per second, is going to be really good on this fight. Oh yeah, that's pretty good.
Nice.
Almost 50,000 each. I mean, part of it is we probably shouldn't have left Batman in so long. Part of it is the temptation when you're doing one of these videos to both make a point and highlight somebody, is you leave somebody in for too long.
Mm-hmm.
And part of a good strategy is actually, so they don't have no gear. Part of good strategy, but augmentations, is making sure that you swap out the guy in and out at the right time.
Somebody probably made a mistake there.
Or they were playing, and then the server updated, like they were playing with somebody else and using gear on somebody else.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think this is it's sort of an inevitable kind of evolution of power creep, where, you know, these guys are just so much better at stat wise and passive wise that you can use them anyway on a team, and they're still better than most of the guys that have come before. Although I got to tell you, now that I mean, with the augmentations, Red Sun Superman. Ooh, I hate when that happens. That you can see that their stats are kind of in line, so it's a relatively balanced team, despite the fact that you've got Flashpoint Batman, mainly because we haven't augmented any of his health or damage. Alright, what I hate about Arkham Knight is that he's actually really useful on the defense, because when he's got unblockables, and because of when you finish a combo, if there's any separation, it's hard to time it, so that you can either get your next swipe combo in, because you might be too far away, and while you're doing that, he hits you. Or if you wait until you're too close, he hits you.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, that's not bad. What I'm hoping is we get into a standoff and you can see, but part of me hates getting into that situation where we've let, I can't do it intentionally and let them knock out 2 of our guys. Kick ass. 77. So how many guesses as to when the guy was born? Kick-Ass was born. Alright, so she's the Fourth World gear set. She's actually interesting that way, because the dampening of power gen probably hurts the most. Out of all the different kinds of team passes, I think I hate that one the most. Because it does a bit to slow the whole fight down. And Wonder Woman's passive doesn't do enough to make up for it.
Begin.
All right. Right, because that's really what we should be doing every time, is bringing in your basic damage dealer and using him to start off the fight.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. I like when the finisher of a swipe, normally it leaves you vulnerable, but his can actually take out the next guy instead of just leaving you ready to get smacked around. Ooh, I like this.
Oh.
I'm doing this because it's fun.
Alright, so I'm so used to not hearing any of the audio when I'm playing, except for when we do these videos.
Yeah.
And listening to some of them talk and grunt is...
A little funny.
It is a little funny. What's funny too is actually, despite Superman being our basic damage dealer, he's not doing that much more damage than Flashpoint Batman is on his critical.
Yeah. Oh, that heal is brutal. Oh.
Oh, she blocked that. Yeah.
Oh.
Big fingers, man.
Thought you were a warrior. You're not up to this.
Oh, she's pretty good. She blocked. Actually, that was a crit. That was a crit hit even on blocking. I wonder, because I see it less often. I wonder if you can definitely still crit when it's blocked.
Yeah.
But I wonder if it means that the chance of it critting is lower. That probably makes a bit of sense.
Yeah. That'll be interesting to figure out, but it would be hard to purposefully replicate. Sometimes I wish this game had true online functionality, because then it would be so much easier to test stuff.
I think we probably could figure it out if we were willing to look through all the footage that we've got.
Yeah.
Even just the footage that we posted, you could probably figure that out.
Mm-hmm.
So it hasn't really been a struggle yet, but we're not very far. We're only in like round 4.
Deathstroke.
Okay, so he's not a problem.
Killer Frost.
Yeah, it's funny, right? How much gear still makes a difference. I look at the gear, the score is low, none of it's developed, it's not really organized well. I don't even really care. I'm not that worried.
Well, because the thing is, the matchmaking's good enough that the fights are never unbeatable, right? And so then when you have gear and they don't, it's essentially maybe a difficult fight before, right?
Yeah.
But once you add the gear to you and they don't really have anything good, it makes the fights actually kind of easy.
Mm-hmm.
Almost no matter what.
Our biggest vulnerability still, and we haven't seen it yet, is somebody with the gear set that we've got on Wonder Woman, of a chance on stun, with the Cloak of Destiny and LexCorp gauntlets, plus the League of Assassins knives to give huge amount of splash damage. And we haven't seen that yet, which is kind of good for us. See, 17,000. He's already doing 17,000, and he's a totally non...
You swapped out our tank right before we got hit with a big special.
I know. What I was hoping to do was like to drop him splash damage on Killer Frost, because she's actually, of the two, she's the most
dangerous.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's something about that that's so satisfying. Oh, perfect.
If he stuns, oh, he might have.
He looks pretty stunned.
I was gonna take that opportunity to bring in Wonder Woman, right? Because she's got the Cloak of Destiny.
Yeah, so as you can see, even as the tank, he actually serves pretty well as the damage dealer too. As a damage dealer.
I mean, he's only critting. He's only got 50% crit chance. I guess if you just boosted that up a little bit, you'd be even better. But then you'd be giving up the special 1 heal.
Yeah, which would be a little bit too bad.
Right. She might be she might have been dangerous if she'd been in the not the first slot Justice League Wonder Woman, but as it is, we're just gonna take her out real fast, and then that's optimistic, eh? That's like jinxing it. I think there's gonna.
Hope.
Yeah, I don't really see. Like I said, the biggest problem would be like if there was a Luchador Bane. But what also happens is, unless you're facing a team with Luchador Bane that's augmented, because the way Matchmaker works, when you're working with a team like this, it's not like he comes up that often, and it has to be a different character with a strong special too, which means that they have a slightly smaller chance of stunning you on tagging, which is the most dangerous. Uh-oh, she's gonna have a special too, so this is a problem. All right, we're
Getting our butts kicked a little bit.
what did I say about
Ooh.
Jinxie?
Well, hey, at least we killed Justice League Wonder Woman fast.
Thought you were a warrior.
Oh, that is so sad.
And this is when it's useful to have a tank that is also a basic damage dealer.
Well, this is it, right? Like, there's when you've got some of the roles duplicated a little bit, it makes it so much easier to handle unexpected surprises.
Yeah.
Well, because remember, when we had Flashpoint Batman as our main damage dealer, Red Sun Superman was our secondary damage dealer with exactly the same loadout. So he's like the understudy. He's been promoted a little bit, and he's really not quite ready for the prime time. All right, so now championship rounds. Okay,
Harley Quinn.
so she's the tank. There, that
Killer Frost.
Harley Quinn's gonna be dangerous. So probably a good technique or just a strategy coming into this fight would be to try to use Flashpoint Batman's special 1 to finish somebody, because it's multi-hit. The multi-hit will mean that when Harley Quinn tags in, she can't stun him. Other option, which is harder, would be try to time the tag out so that when you feel like the AI is going to tag somebody else in, you tag out right then.
Begin.
Yeah.
And I guess the other way to do this too is if we get a huge splash damage so that the other team is really low in health by the time. Right now.
Oh,
Oops.
Thought you were a warrior.
nice. That was 55,000 slash damage? Or was that 5,500 slash damage? I can't tell.
Yeah, I wasn't really paying attention. Uh-oh.
55 would be too high.
I think we're in trouble.
Had enough?
Yeah, we gotta not give her a chance to. Alright, so we just gotta hope. Oh, she's got a special 2. That's even better. So her special 2 is not a danger. Harley Quinn, she comes in and stuns us. She does her special 2. Most of the time, it won't do any damage. And we're satisfying the same. Right, so now, that was it. We use a special 1 multi-hit.
Oh!
But that's
That's the
perfect.
damage.
He's got his revive. There you go. But he's got his revive, so we're not entirely worried. Now she can't take out.
Perfect.
And the strategy would have been exactly the same if she'd been Luchador Bane. Except I guess Luchador Bane has a huge damage special too, so whoever is in when he drops in, even if he doesn't get stunned, is sort of sacrificed a little bit.
Yeah.
Alright, that wasn't so bad. But that's really the main weakness of this team, of this team build. We don't really have a great strategy besides Flashpoint Batman Special 1. Okay. Oh, okay, interesting.
Batman.
16, 10.
Superman.
Alright, stat-wise, we're clearly outmatched, right? They've got 2 guys with over 150k of health.
Yeah. We'll just have to see how this goes down.
That last one, I was a little worried. I thought we were in for a bit of a beatdown.
Begin.
The smart thing would probably have been to bring in the basic damage dealer.
Maybe, but it seems like you're juggling pretty well. Oh!
It's always good to have a bar of power, right? Remember when we talked about how moves are prioritized?
Yeah.
If you have a bar of power,
You
then
can do a lot of stuff.
yeah, you can interrupt. You can.
I love that. He went from in the air to standing up completely fine because you hit him with a special. That's pretty funny. I don't think I've noticed that particular interaction of Injustice 2 Superman's abilities with a special before.
No.
When he's midair and he gets hit,
Oh.
and then he goes straight to standing back straight up. I guess I just don't pay as much attention to it usually.
Yeah. Well, when you're playing, it's a lot harder to pay attention. You're sort of planning what your next move is and who's coming out and stuff. Right.
Yeah.
Had enough?
Oh, usually that hits. Usually when you do it fast enough and you chain it to his swipe combo. That might be enough.
Bonk.
No, this will be enough.
Bonk.
Walk away, sir. And that was it. That was the
Not the hardest fight, but the championship fight.
championship fight.
There we go.
So there is our second in the series of Flashpoint Batman, fourth in our series of how to build an MP team, second in our tank part of building an MP team.
Yeah. So there we go. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Stay tuned. Special Specialist is coming up next.
Komoda.